You made it. Welcome back, everybody. SolidSol here, and I've been playing a lot of Peacekeeper lately. Ever since the title update, solo queue at some 4 stacks and duo queues as well during the stream. But you know, the solo queue experience when I'm off stream is definitely one of the games of all time in my experience. A lot of yelling. You'll see it in the rest of the videos afterwards when there's just gaming commentary. But right now, I want to discuss how I feel about it so far and what has changed, what hasn't changed. And is she stronger now? And I'm gonna stress it again because a lot of people seem to forget that I am specifically only talking about solo queue or duo queue matchmaking. I'm not talking about war stacking or scrims or competitive gameplay. Those are two different worlds, different metas altogether. First of all, just get to the matter at hand here is that she is stronger, slightly stronger. The 366 MS dagger cancel is much faster, but one of my boys, being one of the best duelists out there, says it's still reactable, but he is an outlier, which means, you know, his opinion is going to be incredibly based because he can just parry those things outright. That dude was parrying my 200 MS light attacks on the Australian servers and testing grounds, and I mean early access. So very strong in 1v1s. I cannot stress that enough. If you're able to solo somebody into like a little pocket area where you can kill them efficiently and fast, she can do a lot of damage really quickly as once you get that bleed off. But the problem is that when you get into team fights, you have to play really careful. No dodge cancel recoveries. Recoveries are good after getting an attack, but you can't do the riposte afterwards, otherwise you might get hit by an unblockable. This only really applies, like she's really only good if you have a player with you, like someone that can always peel for you, that will always come to you on point C when you stall there when there's 2 enemies there. If you stall there by yourself and you're fighting against very strong characters, Ocelotl, Kyoshins, those characters, Varangian, you're not going to be able to stall there efficiently all the time. It's probably going to be pretty inconsistent if you're fighting good players. Even like players who throw in a bunch of random attacks that aren't feeding you revenge, like the other players just waiting, and then they'll peel for you if you actually get an attack off or parry the other guy. That is basically the #1 situation where you don't want to be in, and then all your teammates are in mid lane just messing around trying to gank. 3 of your teammates are ganking one dude, or they're on the other point all the way far away. Like that, then that situation, it's probably mostly your fault because you shouldn't have gone to that point to stall. If you really wanted to win and you did your best to stall there, that's what you would probably do as a Peacekeeper player or a player in general with a good character. Like if you're playing Black Pirate, that's what you want to do. You want to stall an anchor. But for Peacekeeper, you're basically going into a death sentence. Now, it's really nice that they adjusted her hitboxes on her zone attacks and her heavy attacks. You can definitely tell the difference, especially for the zone, because it now only costs 20 stamina down for 40. You can basically use this like 3 times sparingly and hit a lot of people around you, like behind you as well and on the left and right side. It's very good now, and be sure to always target swap your light attack as well, because a lot of people aren't going to be expecting that. So use your heavy input or go into zone input and then target swap and use your bleed. The top light bleed is much faster now. The animation is still really nice too. I'm really happy about that. It's very clean, but that's probably one of the problems on why it makes it a little bit more reactable. It's still unreactable to me because I'm a read-based gamer. I am a boomer and I'm not going to be able to, you know, parry those 400 MS lights consistently. It's just not. Most of the player base isn't going to be doing that because we're going to be trying to chill after a long day of work, recording, editing, you know, hanging out with the kids and all that good stuff, drinking a little, you know, a little bit of beer here and there, a little vodka, cocktails, all that good stuff, and we just want to wind down. But you know, to the competitive players, it's probably a little bit better, but you know, it's something that she probably needs to be adjusted still when it comes to her openers. But in that scenario, when they're just playing in a synchronized team, Peacekeeper is good. I cannot stress this enough that Peacekeeper is a good character in a synchronized team. If you have a duo, if you're in a 4 stack, she's gonna be good because you're gonna have teammates peeling for you and ganking with you. She can do some ganks. You know, her damage isn't that high when it comes to confirming damage for ganks, but she has good recoveries, good peels, and that's great. Like, she has a role, just like Nobushi. Like, no openers, but she has a team fighting role. I cannot stress that enough. I don't know why people get that confused. Like, my tier lists are for the solo carry players. They're not for the competitive players. The competitive players who can react and parry to everything. Most of us are read-based gamers, and we're not going to be focusing that hard. But anyways, I digress. Like, she's going to be good in team fights if you have a good teammate or good players on your team. Most of the time, that's not the case, and we all know that. That's why my tier lists are for you guys. They're for me. You know, they're people who don't want to talk to someone every single day while they're playing. They just want to wind down and chill. So Peacekeeper is still going to be very hard to play in solo queue. Even in duo queue, she's going to be much better in duo queue because you have more range, a faster opener when it comes to just 1v1s, and of course the deflect is a light inputs. That doesn't really change too much. You have to get used to it, probably just a couple games. I got used to it after a couple games, and it's not that bad. But overall, you know, you have to play her very smart. You need a lot of game knowledge, you need good reads, and pretty decent reactions to do well with her, because the majority of the characters in this game, they're very powerful. They got unreactable offense, bashes, full block recoveries. You have to respect those. Vag characters, the Kyoshin characters, don't go in there like 1v2 expecting to win. Go in there to stall, hopefully your teammate can help you, and all that good stuff. Like, you don't expect to win all your games. Like, there are times where I am absolute destroying with Peacekeeper, but I'm at the top of my game. I'd say like maybe 70% of my games are very good with Peacekeeper, and like the rest are, they're like, oh god, these characters are so strong, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm making mistakes here and there, making some wrong reads. She's gonna be very painful to play. You're not gonna be at the top of your game every single game. I'm being very realistic here. This character is strong, but it's strong in only certain ways, and she can be exploited if you're not careful. If you're not picking your fights and being very, you know, she plays like an elusive mosquito, where you have to attack very sparingly and be careful, because you don't have unblockable pressure. Your forward heavy is a great tool for peeling and catching opponents here and there, but you don't have like the wide unblockable swings that tons of characters have, like Vag, Raider, even Raider. Like, Raider is not that powerful in this meta now, but he still has that zone attack that has huge cleave, and tons of other characters just outshine Peacekeeper in so many ways. Like, she can be scary in 1v1s, like I said, but these buffs have helped her slightly improve in the meta. In the tier list, I'll probably bring her up a little bit more, but I would not recommend her for a new player. For the fashion, definitely play her for that, but for a new player, I would not go ahead and pick her expecting you to have, you know, basically a 10-0 in your scoreboard, because most of my scoreboard has been, it's either my games are really like 10-0, 10-2, 12 and something, 12 and like 3, blah blah blah, 12 and 4, and then the other games are like 5 and like 3 or 5 and 4, things like that. Like, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to pick my fights very carefully. If I see my teammates, in mid and nobody's on the other point from my enemy, I might go capture it, unless I know for a fact that there's people that can peel, enemies that can peel, like 3 teammates, 3 enemies in the mid lane, and then 2 of them can go to the C point afterwards, because then my teammates, I don't know if they're gonna come help me. They might go to the other point and capture that, or go there and boost. Like, you don't know what your teammates are gonna be doing, so help them out in the team fights and backcap if you need to, and leave the point. I'd say leave the point, and you don't need to stall. Just improve your KD ratio so that you can at least get renown, and don't feed renown to the enemy team. That's what I would do as a Peacekeeper player, and I've gotten a lot of luck playing this way and being elusive, being a ninja of sorts, and it's worked really well. And I'd recommend you guys to play it this way too, because I don't want you guys to just go in there and feed revenge, or go in there in a 1v3 and expect to win. Like, that's gonna make you have a lot of PTSD once you pick this character up again, okay? In comparison to playing Magi, the character that just got reworked with the new move, he's just so much easier, where you don't really have to think too much. You can just let attacks fly, and you'll have decent pressure, especially in team fights and 1v1. Sure, you can be baited out here and there, but your offense is really good. You know, good chain offense and good hitboxes. Peacekeeper has to work for everything she does in team fights. You have to be very careful. It just goes to show that Peacekeeper requires you to have game knowledge and be smart about your plays most of the time. A bad Peacekeeper is so easy to tell in comparison to like a really good one. And I'm speaking on someone who plays on PC, where I have 144 frames, or like 100 frames to 144, 144 hertz rate, so I can see everything very clearly. You know, if I just external her, I can block her light indicators, all those stuff. Like, she's reactable when it comes to team fights. Like, there's nothing that's really scary about her in team fights. What I'm basically doing is ignoring her and hitting her with external attacks. She doesn't have anything to do in team fights besides maybe punishing someone that she sees on the open. But if I'm picking a character like Magi, I'm gonna external dodge attack her, bait her out. If I see her, if I do like a heavy attack and she thinks that she can punish me with like a freaking dodge attack or something like that, or forward heavy, I can just feign my heavy and then freaking dodge attack her afterwards. Like, there's no Peacekeepers that I really fear, that I've ever really fought. Like, there's some really good Peacekeepers like when they're stacks, but otherwise I'm just gonna ignore her and do my own thing. Okay? The only time she's actually really scary is when she gets her tier 3, her tier 4, and when someone is confirming for her finisher damage heavies, which 9 times out of 10 nobody is doing that for Peacekeeper. And you don't really want to risk doing that either, whether it be bashing to confirm, doing a light to confirm, because if they do a heavy unblockable and they just guard break, then it'll mess up the entire punish. And if they always let it fly and you're not there to confirm it in time, it's gonna mess up the gank. It'll be like, oh, you're gonna confirm for me next time on the unblockable heavy, or no? It's like, it's just hard to do because you can't rely on your teammates when you're playing solo queue. You have to rely on your own skill, your reads, your reactions, and your hero pick. There are only a few times where you're actually in a high level game and you know that the players that are on your team, they're high level players and they know how to confirm, but they're just solo queue enjoyers like yourself. That's when you can start confirming and trusting. Even if you mess up once or twice, you know that they'll help you to land those finisher damage heavies. But when it comes to the average matchmaking lobby, it's just really inconsistent. And what's even more consistent is your teammates donating points and leaving points just to go fight in a 1v4 or 1v3, because 1v4 is fine if you're stalling, and if you can actually survive, that can be pretty beneficial. But for Peacekeeper, that's not really necessarily the case. Now, it's true, I could tell every single one of my viewers, everyone that's watching right now, to always let your heavy unblockables fly, okay? But the thing is, you need your teammates, your randoms, to be in position to make sure they're not heavy feigning at the wrong time. Like, things have to line up perfectly, and in a perfect world, sure, that'll happen. But we live in the real world, okay? We live in the real world. Most of us are just being chilling, and we're not going to be paying attention to that too much. So in a different universe, if everyone played the right way, which is what competitive players play as, where they confirm everything, the team fights, nobody feeds revenge. Well, there's revenge still being shown in a bunch of comp games too, but you know, there's less revenge feeding and less attacks that are being thrown that aren't being confirmed. Well then sure, let all of your heavy finishers fly and confirm with a light attack, a guard break, and a bash. And make sure your teammates are always ready nearby to confirm your attack so you don't feed revenge. But sadly, that is not the case. There are two different realms when it comes to For Honor, and any game whatsoever. When it includes a sweaty game mode or ranked game mode, there's always going to be a meta when it comes to people who just play matchmaking or ranked, and then there is an entirely separate universe for people who play competitively and play scrims and playing very seriously to win championships. Two different metas, two different playstyles. When you decide to pick Peacekeeper, you decided to lose the game for your teammates. That's the gist of it, okay? You decided to look amazing when it comes to fashion, but you're also kind of throwing. But when it comes to Peacekeeper's feats, for yourself and the bleed knives, she will do a tremendous amount of damage and it will swing team fights and 1v1s like crazy. That is the one time she is incredibly strong. I'd say that is what separates her from a bunch of other assassins, and it's awesome that she gets to have this style of combat where it just inflicts a ton of bleed. Nobushi also has it too, and I guess it could be detrimental if you land the 500ms chain light attacks, but even so, I don't think that's a good feat to be using in comparison to second wind and longbow, whereas Peacekeeper's tier 3s of the crossbow that does bleed, it can be helpful to start off and initiate your offense, sure, but the tier 3 with the bleed and couple that in with your fast 366 ms light attacks, your 500 ms light attacks, and your unblockable finisher that does a ton of damage, and your kidney stabs. I mean, that's just the go-to feat, and it can be very costly to your career if you manage to get hit by any of Peacekeeper's attacks when she's up there with the renown. Honestly, I think I've rambled on way too long about, you know, the meta, Peacekeeper in general, and how she feels in solo queue and duo queue matchmaking. Not in 4 stacks, not in scrims, guys. I cannot stress that enough, okay? The freaking 1% of players that are playing scrims and stuff saying Peacekeeper is strong, okay? Like, obviously, any character can be used well and efficiently in scrims. I'm sure she's not the worst character out there. Nusha's probably the worst when it comes to forming work. Actually, I think Nusha is pretty okay. I'm not gonna lie. She got good call traps. Her traps can do some stuff. She has 3-hit chain heavy, so you can set up some 3-hit chain ganks. But, you know, everyone has their niche. Everyone has their uses. And she's okay. She's gotten improvements, but I would still love to see some quality of life changes, because Testing Grounds was supposed to, you know, test some new stuff, and they tested a bash, which would have worked really well for her as a 500ms bash or 466 bash for her when it comes to solo queue gaming. You know, I feel like that would have been really beneficial for her. Or if they don't go the bash route, which I'm perfectly okay with, let her freaking bleed attack her top one, be unblockable, or have it do chip damage that is bleeding chip damage, so she can actually just get an unblockable heavy finisher afterwards. So it's much easier to land, gives her ease of use without having to be like unnecessarily painful when it comes to people in team fights. Like, just let her land the bleed, because most people, actually, you know what, I feel like a lot of people are still pairing her her soft feint top lane. I'm not gonna lie to you, I've been playing a lot of games with her, and it doesn't feel that different. It feels like it is more useful, and her soft feint guard breaks are more useful. But then again, I feel like most players aren't gonna be reacting to this anyways. They're making reads. It feels the same, but the only biggest change about her is the zone attack cost. You can do more cleave overall, survive in team fights a little bit better, and then of course just retreat for your teammate to come help you. But you know, I'm enjoying Peacekeeper Live. I've always liked playing her in a coordinated setting where you have some teammates to help you, but when it comes to solo queue, it can be really painful. The only way I can truly have fun with this is if I stake out, find someone solo, kill them really fast if I can't, and then someone starts ganking me, I stall for as much as I can, and then I have to run away because none of my teammates are gonna help me, okay? Like that's the way I play Peacekeeper most of the time. If I know I have a good teammate with me, I'm gonna stick by him and help him get his KD ratio up, get his renown up. But if I have bad teammates, I'm just gonna watch my team die. I'm gonna clear mid lane because she is a mid clear. Her zone is so good for mid clearing. Stay there, don't initiate any 1v2s, and watch out for any fights. I'm not gonna take any fights I can't win because for some reason the enemy team loves to gank Peacekeepers because they know that she can't do shit. Alright, they know she can't do shit in Revenge. She's practically useless. But I still have a lot of fun playing her as an elusive assassin. So it's fantastic because she is a noble. She got a nice sword. Someone told me in the comments that the reason why she has so much ornate weapons is because she is a noble, and that's freaking shagadelic. But I'm having a lot of fun with her still. Hope you guys are enjoying her because I know Peacekeeper mains are definitely feeling the buff, and especially the zone attack, the hitbox adjustments are great for Peacekeeper mains. But pick her up, see how it is, and let me know if I'm right or wrong in the comments. I will be making a tier list after this video, so stay tuned for that. I'll be streaming as well, more For Honor and Tekken. So I'll see you guys later. Oh, I still gotta make my Tekken video. There's so much videos to make lately, but I gotta make my Tekken video after the tier list, okay? So I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye, and enjoy the rest of the games. No! I was gonna pop it! Fudge! I win these, as long as that guy doesn't have Ki. Let it fly. Let this one fly. That's fair. Huge. Got the dubs. That's how powerful fun. I'll let this fly. Oh my god! Oh my goodness! My input was all fucked up. I'm gonna unlock zone here. You, sir, are cooked. Your goose eggs are cooked. Alright, I'm going back to A because they're gonna rotate me. Oh, this guy's dead. What are you cooking? What are you actually cooking? Oh, there's Janu behind you. That's how you do it. I don't really want to be there with you. I feel like we're not going to be able to gank him that well. I'm going to let you lower his HP a little bit. Or just stay in mid lane. You don't have to go to C. That guy's there's one more behind you. Alright, I'm coming now. Oh. The light input! Oh my god, he did GB. I'm gonna leave since you're gonna die. Oh my god, clean. Sate. Yeah, we won that. Nice zoo, boys. That was clean. AF. Yeah, that was a freaking annoying game, dude. We're just so much exhausting to fight. Oh, I feel that, brother. I feel that on an emotional level. On an emotional level. Especially as a warded player, I get it. Dude, this game is so much more fun where there's not an incredibly OP character involved. I mean, look at this. We got Nucia. She's strong, but she's not that good in Dominion. Same for Peacekeeper. Like, she's strong, but not that good in Dominion. Raider's the only one that's the outlier here. Shaman is decent too, but you know, not that great in team fights. Lawbringer is pretty good. Shaman, same thing. Gladiator, good ganker, not a good team fighter, but Warmonger is just, you know, an overall decent pick. That was a fun match. That's fun when there's no power creep, honestly. Like, I like these games. These games are fun. Dude, as soon as I said that, now we have all the cancerous characters to fight against. Oh my god. This is so unlucky, man. Yukio, Shitoy Takuri, Wanarochi. That's all the cancer on one side. Bane of our existence as the For Honor community. To be fair, Varangian's not there. This is gonna be so fun, dude. So fun. I'll let it fly. It's done. He's cooked. There we go. That was clean AF. On ACP Wick. Through there. I wanted an external, actually. Help this guy. There we go. Perfect. Nice play, dude. Very well played, my good man. Very well played. You stay here. I clear the mid lane because this is so fun. I got an improved zone, guys, so that means I can clear the mid lane a lot better and more consistently. I should have cleared this out in the beginning. I trusted my comp. But you can't trust any players in solo queue because they left. Oh, they did not. They lost. Ah, dang, I can't believe I didn't punish that. You got bested, sir. Nice parry. Ah, why am I not guarding that side? He keeps doing that, I just guard break here, man. Here we go. Got killed by the minions. Dude, what is this? Why would you guys all leave? What am I supposed to do now? We can't win against this cancerous team. As a Peacekeeper? It's Joe over, bro. It's Joe over. God. Dude, this game is so painful. I get like a couple of good games and then you just get like the worst game of your entire existence. There's nothing to do here. You can't win. Nobody ever lets it fly. I'm not going for the max punish anymore. I'm just gonna do the wall slide is only if I get it really early on. But otherwise, I'd rather conserve my stamina. It's just a better punish, in my opinion. Better in every single way. That guy can help right there. Then Shrubby. I don't know what this guy's. Hopefully he can hold this point. Stay there, dude. There. Stay there, sir. What are you doing? Okay, that works fine. That perfection. Oh, we lost it. Dude, if this guy lost the point because he left. What are you cooking, man? God, dude, I did not need help with that 1v1. Goodness gracious, bro. Goodness gracious. Alright, well, you do take care of that and die to that guy. I'm gonna go take C. Getting cooked over there. Thick. Don't tell me we're all dead. Dead. Perfection. Bro! Dude, what am I supposed to do with this guy? Why are you attacking? Let me kill him! Goodness! This guy is so... He has no brains. Freaking brain rot, man. gosh, man. I'm just supposed to do nothing. I'm just supposed to do nothing. That's all. Just don't do anything. I keep forgetting. Don't attack. Don't attack. Unless you want to lose. That's the gist of things. You attack in For Honor, you lose. This is pre-CCU, baby. Pre-CCU era. I love it that way. It's my favorite way to play For Honor. My favorite. I'm just supposed to do nothing. I'm just supposed to do nothing. That's all. Just don't do anything. I keep forgetting. Don't attack. Don't attack. Unless you want to lose. That's the gist of things. You attack in For Honor, you lose. This is pre-CCU, baby. I love it that way. It's my favorite way to play For Honor. My favorite. Why are you leaving the point? Just fight him. Don't guard break him. There's 2 ties, gotta be careful. How are you still externaling? Someone let me know. Who are you externaling? Tell me why. The Centurion, let's see if he has any of his punishes. I mean, any of his feats. Read, bro. Give me a second to get my stamina back. There we go. Thank you for the external, unblockable heavy attacks, my good man. This guy knows what he's doing. The drunken drunken rage. I totally butchered that. My bad, homie. I think this might be overkill, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yes, guys. A lot of bleed damage, perfect, he's dead. Now I do a little dodge rolling as I get the kill. There we go. I cleared a little bit of mid, I suppose. Honestly, everyone did very well on both sides. To the troops. Guys, to the troops on both sides. Like, everyone did pretty decently. It seems like the game was pretty balanced too. This guy was 7, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2. Like, everyone had like decent. That's a pretty, honestly, an honest matchmaking system right there. I had to play pretty safe too. Otherwise, you know, I'd get hit by hyper armor, and I actually did get hit by quite a bit of hyper armor. But you know, you can't win them all. You can't get all the anti-ganks too either. Very hard with Peacekeeper. You have to have a good team to come support you, and this one I did, but it was pretty chaotic. Say so myself.